This is what I read in the news today. Recruiter sends 10-hour job interview plan to candidate, post sparks debate. A recruiter's 10-hour long interview roadmap spread across several stages sparked a debate on social media. So, this is what is happening these days. The interview process of some companies have become really ridiculous. Like, they're asking questions about things that people are not even going to use in their job. But maybe thinking from their point of view, uh, the number of applicants that they get are so huge and they want a better process to filter through candidates. Probably that's why they have these ridiculous interviews. But these interviews have become totally pointless because they have these set stages like level 1, level 2, level 3, and it goes up to level 6 even for certain companies. And some candidates have also learned to game the system. They are going through questions online. People are going through lead code and practicing all the problems, and they're going prepared. So now getting a job is more about how you're preparing for the interview, not about what skills you actually have. And this is what is going on, and people who are doing well in the interview are getting hired. But I don't know, because all you're checking is how they're performing in the interview, not
Hmm.
what
Not
skills
necessarily
they.
what skills they possess, what they bring to the table to the company.
And anyway, they don't check how you will actually do in the job. So for that, they will have to wait and see. So this is the game that is going on. And coming to the recruiter side, like, people have always disliked HRs or disliked recruiters. They have this huge complaint that recruiters don't reply on time, or they ghost candidates. So there's always this necessary or unnecessary hate on recruiters. What do you think about that?
I think this has pretty much become a standard practice, like these 10-hour interviews. I'm not telling they are justified. And I think these 10-hour interview processes are a standard practice only for, like, suppose managerial jobs or like mid-level managerial jobs at least, and not for entry-level jobs. Entry-level jobs, at least when I passed out from my graduation, entry-level job interviews, how they used to be was they would be a technical round. uh, no, it will be preceded by some kind of like shortlisting criteria like a GD or some kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
MCQ type question.
Don't even get me started on GDs, because GDs, as in group
I'll
discussion,
get you started on
they
that in
they
a second.
they were a total waste of time, and I don't know what they were assessing out of a group discussion. Probably like who will cut off whom during the discussion. I don't know. They were just total waste of time, and they were an unfair process, if
I
you ask
wouldn't be
me.
so dismissive of the group discussion of the GD process or any processes for that matter. But I mean, every process that is conducted in the interview has its pros and cons, definitely. Definitely, there can be a GD where it is not like a shouting match, it is not a who can cut who can be rude to whom competition. But I get your point that there are companies who actually incentivize people who
Being
are
rude, yeah.
being rude. Because see, at the end of the day, uh, the job that you might have to do might be a very cutthroat job, and it might be that the job description or the responsibilities listed down in the job description might require you being rude.
They might be. So I want to talk more on HRs and what they do. So I feel that HRs are the most hated or the disliked people in corporate, because many people fail to understand that.
Even more than managers.
Even more than managers, yes.
Okay.
Because they find them annoying. First of all, they force all people to participate in these fake celebrations like
True,
festival
true, true.
celebrations,
Fake
whole
smiling competitions.
fake smiling competitions. So uh, people find that annoying and they don't respond properly. And so yes, the bad experience comes from different angles. And recently I got to know of something from my friend. She had applied for her maternity illness leave. So in the maternity bill it states that if you would like to apply for maternity illness leave, which is an extra 1 month leave in addition to the maternity leave itself, the condition it specifies in the bill is that like you should have gone through a cesarean section, and if you have any other illness related to delivery. So that's what it specifies. It does not give the exact terms on which this leave has to be approved. Okay, but when she applied for this leave, the HR called her up and started convincing her that, hey, so whatever the terms that you're applying this leave for is not justified. And the HR even started speaking like a doctor herself and saying, like whatever that you are having is not an extreme thing to apply this leave for. So, this is what HRs actually do, that is, they play the dirty game of the upper management. They are the messengers, so they speak what the upper management needs to speak, but they are the face of it. That's how I see it.
I would just like to add here that it is not a maternity bill, but the Maternity Benefit Act. What the HR was trying to do is definitely wrong. The HR definitely, I am guessing, doesn't have any training on medical services, but still she was trying to like comment on medical things. But do you realize the Maternity Benefit Act actually allows the companies to do that, actually enables the companies to, because the Maternity Benefit Act could have been very specific and could have listed out some of the cases, or could have mentioned that it has to be certified by a doctor, or there has to be a mechanism set up by all
Yeah,
companies
yeah, yeah.
to verify this.
Yeah, I agree that
But
it's
it
not clear.
it is left to interpretation so that it can benefit companies, I feel. That's one. I mean, definitely the onus lies with the company, to be fair and all, but the company at the end of it is doing its compliance pretty well here.
Yeah, they don't
Also,
want to
like you
give
said,
extra leave.
yeah. Also, like you said, this HR, what the HR was trying to do, yeah, it's wrong, definitely, but the HR was trying to do her job at the end of the day. This is the job that she has been assigned from the company, to be the messenger of like allegedly unfair, like unfair judgment, unfair rulings. And that's what she is doing pretty good, I guess, in this scenario. She is doing a good job of conveying the message of the management here.
And also, HRs like put up this hot and cold persona. Like sometimes they try to be sweet to you, but sometimes they're just outright rude. But I also sometimes feel that maybe they are being rude because if they be nice, then people are just going to take advantage of them. They're going to keep on making requests, like like I need this exception, I don't want to come to office, I don't know, lot of things. People want special treatment and they might keep making requests, so probably that's why HRs put up this persona that they're rude, like, hey, I am rude, so don't come to me with anything, don't ask me anything. And it's also important that we don't go and tell everything to HR, because sometimes at the back of our mind we think that, like, hey, if someone bullies me in office, or if I face something, like if I face some kind of an harassment in office, I'll go and complain to the HR. But the truth is HR is not your friend. At the end of the day, they are also an employee like you, and their job is to make sure that they safeguard the company. So if you're going to go and complain about something to HR, the first thing that they're going to be looking for is how to deny that the company did something wrong.
Hmm.
That is
Okay.
what their first course of action is going to be. And they're going to start collecting proofs that nothing bad happened, or whatever happened is not due to the company. It's not the company's fault.
Yes, yes, yes. So we should all realize that at the end of the day, the HR serves the interests of the company. If anyone is still thinking that the HR caters the employees, it doesn't. The HR job is not designed like that. The HRs are supposed to be the go-to person for assigning jobs, like I already said, of the management. That's one. Second, you bring up a very important point which I think everyone should know. Like you are mentioning harassment. So, the uh, Prevention of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act, it very clearly mentions that there should be an internal committee for any workplace where there are more than 10 employees. The members of the internal committee should be 50% women, and it should be clearly displayed at a very prominent location, uh, that who are those members, what are the contact number of these members, what are the email IDs of these members. We should all be like making sure that we know where that notice is. And I would suggest everyone listening in to do check in your offices whether those notices are displayed or not, and if it's not, do bring it up in your workplace that this is a thing you should be doing as per the laws of the land, and this is a non-compliance.
Okay, this reminded me of something, and this happened to my friend. So, in my friend's company, a person came in to coach people on sexual harassment. Okay, so this was a class on prevention of sexual harassment. So, what the coach did was he came in and offered his hand to a lady who was in the training room, and say like, hey, hi. And the lady also offered her hand back, and she
For
said
a
hi
handshake.
for a handshake. And the coach took his hand back and then said, so is this harassment or not? Okay, let me pause here. The coach did something live and then asked if this harassment or not. I think that's crazy.
No, did the coach actually shake the hand? But that's
Yes.
beside the point whether the coach shook hands or not.
No,
The,
I
the
am
coach asked
saying
whom? The
that
entire class or like?
I believe the coach asked the entire class if this is harassment or not. But what I am trying to say here is that even the coach who is supposed to be coaching people on sexual harassment is insensitive. The coach doesn't know that, like these kind of things you shouldn't be doing. Like, you don't have to literally
This is not
act it out.
this is not just about insensitivity. I feel the coach here doesn't even know what constitutes harassment. When you teach a child that like eating like 10 sweets in one go is wrong, you don't actually eat 10 sweets, fall sick, and then show to the
Exactly.
kid, hey, see, I fell sick, and that's why probably you shouldn't be doing this. That's not how it works. I feel this insensitivity comes from a very rudimentary understanding of
Exactly.
what constitutes like human relationships, even, I'll say.
Exactly.
Where we should draw boundaries, in what situations, how much we should share. Uh, like you were mentioning before, that we shouldn't be oversharing with our HRs. We shouldn't be
Exactly.
oversharing with anyone in our company. See, at the end of the day, our only loved ones are our family, and maybe few friends if you are very lucky.
HRs are not our friend. Our colleagues
Neither
are
is your
not our
workplace.
friend.
In no one in your workplace is your friend. It is a place where you go, probably to make a better life for you. And if you are working in a very good company where the work really excites you, probably to get some kind of like sense of achievement, some kind of like fulfillment, hopefully. And there are people who, without any provocation, are ready to stay for long, long hours in office. So they think the only way to go ahead in their career in the company, or to be visibly working in the company, is to sit late hours. If the office gets over at 6, they will be going home at 10. That's what they have done. I feel like that will only like burn you out at the end of the day.
I think that it comes from a very colonial mindset that, like basically you want to show that you are a good worker or a good servant. So that's why you stay back late. Instead, they should be focusing on producing results, taking ownership, taking more responsibility. They just want to show that, like, hey, I am a good worker. See, I'm staying back late.
This is a two-way street actually. The management also incentivizes such kind of behavior.
To
In
some
most
extent,
in
yes.
most scenarios, I hope there are companies which don't incentivize this. See, like we were talking about HRs. So HRs are the messenger at the end of the day, and they will only communicate from time to time like, hey, like work-life balance is very important. They put around posters around the office saying work-life balance is so important.
And another thing is, I don't know, in my company, they thought they have to celebrate LGBTQ month, which is a good initiative if they really feel for the cause. But I don't think they
They
bothered about the
bothered, yeah.
cause at all. It's like
I
maybe
don't think you need to celebrate any LGBTQ month. I'll tell you what purpose these kind of celebrations serve. These kind of celebrations serve the purpose of people who are maybe actually discriminatory. To them, it maybe spreads some kind of awareness, hopefully a little bit more sensitive to the plight of people. But I think a more important thing here, if you are like, instead of celebrating like LGBTQ day or LGBTQ month, they can just be a very good equal opportunity employer. They can be a model employer. That would suffice. There is no need to celebrate a day especially for the LGBTQ community.
yeah, but nowadays it's about they just want to show that, hey, we are an equal
Yes, yes, yes.
opportunity employer. But what actually goes on inside the company, that we will have to go and explore on a case to
This
case
is very
basis.
basic. This is the classic saying of actions speak louder than words, right?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, all you need to do is uh, be a model employer, be a equal opportunity employer. At least comply with the laws of the land, because there are laws of the land which are talking about equal
Don't
opportunity
try to
employment.
deny maternity illness leave, or don't fire a pregnant employee.
Yeah, these are the things which show that whether you are a good employer or not the celebration of a day, especially for a marginalized community. Okay, that doesn't mean anything, I feel. Actually, do things which shows you are a equal opportunity employer, you don't discriminate. And I think Indian companies have a long way to go and a huge task cut out for them in terms of being fair and just.